How many of you have ever felt that quiet ache, that sense that your family stories, your values, and your legacy might not make it past the next generation? And how many of you have said, someday I'll write this down. Someday we'll be more intentional, but life just keeps getting louder, going faster. Welcome. Truly honored that you're here today. Just by showing up, you've already made a decision that most families never will. You're in the 1% of the 1%. And that intention is to lead intentionally, plant seeds that will far outlive you. And here's what you're going to walk away with. I'm going to introduce a clear 3-step system called the Family Freedom Framework. It'll help you, guide you to build your own family constitution. And the examples are from our personal family journey, including the actual Sipple family constitution. These are the tools that we've used that are going to define your family values. They're going to set generational commitments, and they're going to establish meeting rhythms and systems and processes that create lasting unity. And it's going to be a brand new mindset you'll walk away with. What wealth and legacy really means for your family, not mine, not anyone else that's seeing this, but for your family. And if it's okay, I want to share a quick story with you. So thank you for allowing me to share, but when my grandparents passed, it felt like something deeper was lost. They were my people. And when they were gone, it wasn't just them and their energy I missed, but a sense of who we were. The story stopped. The shared meals disappeared. The glue dissolved. That's the moment I realized that our legacy can't be left for chance. We had no framework, no compass, no constitution. So we built one for my family, and now I'm going to help you build yours. You know, by the end of today, you're going to walk away starting a living, breathing family constitution that protects your values, clarifies your vision, and unifies your family across generations. We're going to walk through that 3-step model, and we're going to show you what frame, fortify, and flourish are. We're going to show you real examples of how you can build your own framework. And by the end of the session, you're not just going to be able to talk about legacy, you're going to have the tools to live it, to build it, to make it actionable. So if you're ready to design that legacy that lives longer than you, let's jump in. The U.S. Constitution, just 4,400 words. It's guided our incredible nation for nearly 250 years. What if your family had its own constitution? A living guide that captures your values, your vision, your commitments so your children and grandchildren are anchored in who they are. Now imagine this. Let me take you back to Philadelphia 1787. The Revolutionary War had just ended. But the peace was shaky at best. The economy was weak. The states were divided. Some were even threatening to secede. And here's what's wild. Every delegate in that room knew if they were discovered, they could be tried for treason against the crown. So they met in secret. The windows closed against the summer heat. The guards posted outside, and for 4 long months, they debated, they argued, they shouted, they shifted, they compromised. In the end, they wrote the U.S. Constitution. That document has been our beacon for nearly 250 years. And it wasn't just about the laws, it was about identity. It said, this is who we are. This is how we will live, and this is how we're going to endure. Now fast forward to today, almost 250 years later. Here's the question. If a nation needs a constitution to survive, why wouldn't a family? Most families don't have one. They pass down a few stories, trinkets, a recipe or two. Oh, that used to hang on our grandparents' wall. But without that framework, those values scatter to a generation or two. It's like the Vanderbilts. Without a plan, everything will be gone within 3 generations max. And that's why we created this family freedom framework. Just like our nation's constitution, a family constitution gives identity, gives a direction, the resilience. It becomes a river of wisdom that keeps flowing long after we're gone. Imagine 3 generations of your family gathered at your 100th family retreat. They raise a toast, not to your money or your stuff, but to your vision, your stories, your purpose, and the framework that you left behind, the systems and processes. The founding fathers risked everything to create a framework for freedom. You don't have to risk your life, but you do have to make a choice. And if you don't make that choice, are you not risking the lives of your future generations? Will your family values pass away with you, or will you capture them in a constitution that lasts? Like the Constitution, we're going to put our collective minds together, or you're going to put your collective minds together in your family. You're going to trust a higher intelligence, a mastermind, to guide you in creating your own family freedom framework. Say that 3 times fast. We're going to break this down into 3 simple steps coming up: the frame, the fortify, and the flourish. So frame is what we're talking about today, the river of values, and that is where we're starting. So let's start this with an exercise. You guys know I love doing visualizations, walking you through a little story. So as long as you're not driving, as long as your hands aren't on the wheel, I want you to close your eyes and imagine this. Above the fireplace, there's a large oil painting that hangs in a rich wood frame. It's your picture. Maybe it's your picture with your family. The kind that makes people pause and smile, not because of who you were, your heart, your energy, but because of what you left behind. 3 generations of your family are gathered around that large fireplace. It's crackling, the flames are jumping, mugs of hot chocolate warm their hands. The laughter of the children fills the room. You can feel it. The joy is dancing in their eyes. It's dancing in your heart. This is the 100th family retreat at your family ski lodge. A tradition you began. You began because you decided. Now your kids, your grandkids, and your great-grandkids are all there. And they look up at that painting. They see they see almost a glimmer in your eye because of the flames jumping. They raise a toast. They raise their hot chocolate with marshmallows, and they thank you. They're not thanking you for the stuff, for the money, but again, for that vision, for your stories, for the framework that you provide that has guided them for generations. So here's the first question for all of you. What could your family look like 100 years from today with a little vision, guided by a structured system, processes? This is the family freedom framework. And so when we look, why a family constitution? Like, what's the purpose of it? Why don't many people have it? Again, because things are moving so fast in our economy, in our society, in the world, we're more connected. We have more opportunity. There's more distractions. It's nearly impossible to put down this little square. I was just speaking to Patty earlier about that and saying, man, I can feel the pull of looking to serve, but I'm here on the phone. I'm looking for that dopamine hit, and I'm just looking. And what are we looking for? We're looking for connection. And we're hoping that we find this connection, this solidarity, this community. But everything's moving so fast. We don't know what's the next thing. What's the one thing? What is the thing that's going to move us forward? So we're living reactively. We have the bills, the chaos, the busyness. Now school started, right? For a lot of this country, ours, Florida, we started a couple of weeks ago, but for a lot of people, this is a crazy week. Roads are jam-packed. There's angry people. There's people late for work. Life just keeps going faster. It speeds up. And before we know it, we're looking at our kids going, wow, you're big, dude. What happened? Man, time flies. You ever hear yourself saying that? I know we talk about that before here. And our kids don't want more toys or bigger gifts or more gifts. They want that connection. But when we're getting caught up in the busyness, we tell ourselves, next quarter, I'll be more intentional. I heard something today about, I forget what it was, but it made me laugh, where People are saying, hey, the new year's coming up. Let's make that one thing we're going to improve between now and the end of the year. And then we don't have to make our our New Year's resolution. We'll just carry it forward. And I was thinking, man, I'm with David Goggins on this. I get up every day. I do the stuff every day. Every day. It's not like I wait for a moment. It's like, oh, I'm going to go to one meal a day. Boom, done. And when am I going to do it? I'm going to go year round. It is a circle. There is no start end point. And the best time to start, you guys all know this. When is it? It's not later. It's now. When's a better time than now? And if not you, then who? So who is going to start this? And this is the written declaration of who you are, what you value, how you live, what hasn't worked, and what is working. It is now, like Dex just put. Again, the kids want connection. They want framework. They want to know what they stand for. And if we don't tell them, you better believe someone else is filling your kids' brains with mush, garbage. Come on, you guys remember the name for your TV growing up? I remember my parents would be like, hey, stop watching the boob tube. I can see your brain leaking from your nose. I don't know what they called it. Maybe pop it in the chat for some laughs, but what do they call it when you were a kid? And so this 3 steps to sovereignty we're talking about today, it's like that river of values I talked about when we talked about our family retreat. And the 3, like imagine a river and it's got 3 big stones in it. And as the river flows by, you've got these solid markers. You got the frame, right? That's kind of guiding the river. You got the fortification that makes it solid and strong and guaranteed. And then you've got the flourish part, the multiply part, the part that makes it intergenerational, that makes your vision and your family stand for something more than just surviving. That's the difference. We're breaking out of that fight or flight survival mind, and we're becoming what God meant us to become. We're becoming something more, something incredible. And the frame is that constitution of values, identity, the vision, the family creed. Now, the fortify part is the trust. It is the part that your family constitution guides, the trust, the legal part of things that creates the systems, the governance, the rules, how things are decided when you're no longer here. And yesterday in a great training, it was brought up that there's only 2 kinds of trust. Only 2. There's lots of variations, but only 2. There's the revocable and irrevocable. And so what does that look like for your family constitution? Which one do you need? Well, we'll work on that together. And the flourish part of it. This is where you have your banking system. It's replenishing itself. This is the multiply, the waterfall method that the Rockefellers have set up. Like who do you guys want to be? Do you want to be like the Rockefellers who are 6 going on 7 generations deep and just getting wealthier and wealthier and more abundant as the generations go on? And this started back in the late 1800s. They are the first known family office. And what we're doing here today is saying, what do we stand for? Who are we? What is our family freedom framework? Here you go. Patty had a black and white TV. And as always, if you're new here, make sure that you're smashing that subscribe button, ringing the bell. It might just turn blue and alert you to new content, and liking the content so it gets spread to more people. It's our mission to inspire, educate, and transform 10 million families together. We have to invite people. We have to subscribe. We have to spread this message. It's so important. Like I said, this is the 1% of the 1%. So if you're here today and you're even thinking about this, you're already ahead of 99% of people on Earth. Definitely 99% of Americans. That's kind of crazy, right? A little bit crazy. So let's talk a little bit about what the articles might look like. Like the Constitution, think about our Constitution in the US. for 250 years. It hasn't changed. It's 4,400 words, right? Different amendments and things, but it hasn't really changed. Our Constitution and our family is a living document. It's one that guides the trustees long after we've departed from this mortal coil, is what I wrote, from when we graduated, from when we kick rocks, died. It ensures that our legacy, what Patty and I think is most important, will be carried forward. And the Constitution and the family freedom framework helps you establish your family's desired end state. It awakens that river of values. It helps you draft your family mission statement. It establishes the education that each generation is going to receive. It establishes the retreats, the rhythms, the rituals. And it can be as big or as small as you want it. You could write this every single thing you'd ever want to pass on, even your fandom. And every single night, we start with Article 1, which is our values, which I'm going to go into a little bit. Defining your family values, picking from a list of them, picking 5 to 7, and then really asking each family member, what does this mean and how do we live this? And then you have different articles. We have ours of financial stewardship. How do you keep teaching the system that multiplies it from generation to generation and makes all these dreams, a ski resort, the whole family coming together, which hopefully costs hundreds of thousands of dollars by then, 100 years from now. Everybody flying in from all over the world to spend that time together. And every single night, I thank God. I thank God that Connor is kind. He's curious. He's courageous. And last year when I was in a dad's group, I saw this multimillionaire talk about his leadership with multifamily syndications and how everything was going well on his financial, on his business side of things. But personally, he was a wreck. His name was Lonnie. And Lonnie came in and shared from his heart. He said, listen, guys, fellas, there's a lot expected in today's society of men. We're expected to provide, to protect, to create, and we think we're doing our job. We say things like, hey, I'm doing this hard work for my family. But we know it's in large part to you and who you identify yourself as well. And so when he had one of his friends walk up at the end of it and challenge him and said, hey, Lonnie, are you doing what you're preaching, what you're teaching? And he at home, and Lonnie's like, oh yeah, of course I am. Yeah, I got this. Yeah, we're great. But underneath, it was that discomfort that I talked about right in the beginning, right in the opening today. He was uncomfortable. He knew he was lying to himself. He was lying to his family. He was helping others, but he hadn't stopped to help himself, his family. He didn't put his oxygen mask on first. So when he did, he went home and he slowly over time, through conversation, through setting intentions, through having conversations around the dinner table, started repairing his marriage. And that's where it started for him. It started by repairing the marriage, talking about the values that they shared, what their vision was as spouses, as partners. And then they started working with their kids. And now, 20 plus years later, he has a river of values that's flowed from generation to generation. And so let's pop in the chat some different values that are meaningful for you. Here's a couple. Here's 10 ideas. Family, faith, belief, courage, adventure, ambition, persistence, discipline, love, and my number one, patience. Because I am not a patient man. I want everything yesterday. Anybody recognize that? How many of you want everything as fast as possible? And so for you, pop in the chat, what are some of your values? And look at our family crest. I mean, that's a working one. But think of it this way. This is a point where you have your family values. You start visually thinking, what does my family stand for? Do we stand for adventure? Maybe we have a boat. Do we stand for strength? Maybe we have a knight or some boxing gloves or whatever it is, right? A bear. I don't know. And so put whatever it is for you. I love Derek put faith first. Yes, faith to me. I mean, if you're an entrepreneur and you don't have faith, Whew, God bless. God bless, right? And so I'm going to read a little bit of our family, Sipple family constitution. So we, the Sipple family, in recognition of faith, courage, legacy, established this family constitution to preserve and pass on our shared values, nurture our identity, and guide our actions across generations. And our shared values are who we are: faith, growth, integrity, strength, discipline, courage, fun, and adventure. And every family will have their own, but naming them gives them clarity. It gives it context for your kids, for those around you, because they know what you stand for. They become your family's compass, if you will. This is the easiest thing with a family constitution. Yes, you might have 7, 8, 9 articles. Maybe you have 5 articles. But you start by writing down your identity. Who are you and what do you stand for? I love that, Sean. Love encompasses all. And so let's establish a few key points for you before you put your pen to the paper. Establish the first draft of your family constitution, because we're looking for not perfect action, but imperfect action. What's your family mission? Now, ours is we exist to grow, give, and guide. We commit to leading with belief, living with purpose, loving with discipline, so that each member may rise to their full potential and they can build a better world together. Write down what are your core 5 to 7 family values. If you don't do it right now, make time to do it later. Like I said, don't walk away from here without action steps. What are your family commitments? Who are you committing to? Like, are we committed to show up even when it's hard? This morning, did not want to get up. Get up, get it done. Speak the truth even when it's uncomfortable. You know, you might break some eggs, you might owe some apologies, but if you know that you did what you think is right, that's the best you can do. God will forgive you, it'll move forward. Hold each other accountable with love and integrity, not judgment, not criticism, with kindness, with truth. Lead ourselves first so we can lead others well. We're not pretending to be perfect. That's one of the things I've heard the most from our family. Dad, this feels like we're trying to be perfect. No, hell no, definitely not. No perfection. Perfection is stupid. Perfection is an illusion. It's an illusion of control that no one has. So the more that you're centered in who you are, what you stand for, what your values are, what your identity is, the easier applying the family freedom framework becomes. And we're just scratching the surface. We're just scratching the surface here. And again, you don't need perfection. You need a starting point. And so we didn't go really deep, but we're going too soon. We're going to go deeper on this. So let's talk about what we've went over a little bit together today. Today, you've learned how to build your family freedom framework. You discovered how those 3 words can impact generations to come with a simple guide, with a simple rhythm that you define your family's core values and beliefs. You saw how the rhythms and rituals, weekly check-ins, annual retreats can turn ideas into action. You got a real life look at how wealth can become generational wisdom. When I stood at my grandfather's funeral, I wish I had more than just memories, more than just the ring passed on to me from my aunt. I wish I had a map, a blueprint of who we were, who the Sipples stood for, where we came from, what we stood for, what were our collective values, the stories that guided our journey. Now we do, and that's the gift I want your family to have too. The purpose today was to capture and protect your family's vision and values. Using the 3-step family freedom framework, frame, fortify, flourish, we start with frame today. You now have the beginning stages of a living legacy your children and grandchildren can build on together. And if this resonated with you, don't let this moment pass. Start your family's constitution today. Grab the Family Freedom Guide. It's free. but it's packed with tools, examples, and templates. It might be free. I'm not saying it's easy, but you can walk through the pages with your family, the questions to guide you. Just message freedom to our team. Freedom, email, patty@jasonsipple.com. That's Patty, Patty, @jasonsipple.com. And we'll get you that free family freedom framework guide today. And write in the chat, in the comments, what's the one core value that you want your family to be known for 100 years from now? Let's build something that's meaningful. Let's build something that lasts. The systems and processes, and we'll do it together with the Family Freedom Framework. So God bless you for being here. I'm going to see you in this next video where we continue covering how you can interrupt generational patterns and build something meaningful and beautiful for your family. So as always, you have to smash the like button. Many of you are watching the videos, but you're not subscribed yet. Help us get this message out. Invite your friends, your family, bring them to the Infinite Banking Bus. It is a big bus, and we have plenty of space for each and every one of you, and you can get on the bus and you get off whenever you want. Make sure you invite them on, because you will be that blessing in your family's life like my mentors have been in my life, and I'm not inventing any of this. I'm just passing it on as we put it together in our family so you can do the same. So I'll see you in this next video. Be blessed. Until next time.